Nice to meet you all. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm Michael Morgenstern. I'm a partner at Dave Consulting and co-lead our cyber security and automation practices. Been in security for 25 years now, though sure feels a lot quicker than that. We've been building security and automation transformation programs at Fortune 500 clients for almost a decade, and for the past 6 months, I've been helping with Agentic AI, which has been an incredibly hot topic. We're now deep in the trenches, helping analyze and deal with the growing security risks, which we're going to talk about today. Quick agenda. There's lots of research that shows that machine identities already outnumber humans. You'll find reports everywhere from like 7 to 1 to 50 to 1, or even thousands to 1, though I don't yet believe that. But they're growing really fast. So we're going to talk about the threat landscape. We're going to talk about what we're seeing in the wild, very quickly talk about some mitigation strategies, and then look at MAESTRO and other leading governance frameworks, and pause for a moment at the end, or I guess end with practical implementation advice. I'm going to go super fast. There are, three major types of threats that we're seeing. Prompt injection. Johan Rohrberger did a fantastic demo of a prompt injection attack. There are a variety of different approaches here. Ken and the CSA have been detailing them in a working group. I'll touch on that in a second. Threats with agents and are just like growing so fast. There's trust issues like hallucination and scheming. But I really want to talk about what the attacks are that we're actually seeing. So prompt injection, jailbreaking. We've been jailbreaking agents for a while now. We're still in the Wild West, so I think this is going to be a bigger and bigger security issue. The Future of Life published an article with an AI safety index last year, grading the AI agents. I think it was like the best grade was a C and the worst grade was an F for transparency. We're just not getting good information out of them. GitHub, Copilot, and other AI coding assistants are boosting productivity, or maybe boosting productivity, but they're rapidly introducing security risks. GitGuardian recently posted that repositories with Copilot enabled had 40% higher incident rates of secrets leaks compared to those without any AI. And then poisoning. I mean, we've seen over the last 2 years kind of Twitter bots going off the rails. There's insider threats, there's trigger injection, there's data injection, there's supply chain attacks, and research here is growing super fast, thankfully, into like how can you gradually mislead AI agents over multiple exchanges. There was a publication last year of something called actor attack, which was literally that over multiple exchanges with an agent. How do you slowly introduce information that eventually it relies on? Poisoning 101. And then there's a lot of emerging. I mean, I guess the whole discipline is emerging, but there are a lot of emerging areas now. There's an academic paper a bit over a year ago, maybe January of 2024, by a whole bunch of people. I think the lead author's last name was Hubinger, that showed you could train models to write secure code under certain circumstances and to put vulnerabilities or exploitable code under other circumstances. So I think their example was, if your prompt said it was 1 year, then give us the good code, and if it said it was the next year, then give us the exploitable code. I mean, just mind blown. So there are a lot of threats out there. My team has been demonstrating how to use ChatGPT to generate malware, which just makes the level of sophistication required to do these attacks. I mean, it's just fallen off the cliff. There have been a whole bunch of other notable threats in the last few months. And there's a whole new world now of less sophisticated actors. I guess when I started in the security world many years ago, what we called script kiddies, right? Low skilled and unskilled people can now have agents, running attacks for them, even if they don't understand how the agent is doing it, how the attack works, what's being done, etc. And as a result, we're seeing all sorts of threats. So what can you do about it? And I should point out that like these are real, like they're here, they're now. These are not theoretical. There is a huge body of information out there around theoretical attacks. Ken and the CSA has cataloged all different types of possible attacks. Now we can all, as a community, go research, which ones are actually happening with what frequency. But these are real and they're happening out in the wild now. What can you do about it? So there's a little bit of opportunity for mitigation. Not a huge opportunity yet, but a lot of it is the standard security hygiene, security 101. Let's make sure that we have good system awareness. Let's have good logging. Let's have good auditing. Let's capture all of our inputs, all of our outputs, all of the queries. Let's be able to search and understand what's going right and what's going wrong. Let's make sure that we have privilege control in, whether it's RBAC or any of the others. Users should only be allowed to do what they're supposed to be able to do, and agents should only be allowed to do what they're supposed to be able to do. And then for now, we have to have a human in the loop. We need human-based verification. There's just too much that can go wrong with set it and forget it with these bots. So, here, what am I here to talk about? I'm here to talk about, well, how do you manage the risk? And there's a lot of governance that could apply to AI agents. I'm involved with and hence very partial to the MAESTRO framework that the Cloud Security Alliance puts out. There are all sorts of other methods and frameworks, but MAESTRO is purpose-built for agentic systems and has the right categories to be thinking about. Could you build your own? Sure. Google published one called Safe. It's also pretty solid. It's narrower than MAESTRO. So what are the core components? There's essentially 5 core components. It's built on top of the major frameworks. It uses 7-layer architecture. It's specifically built for AI threats. It's entirely risk focused and leverages continuous monitoring. And it uses a 7-layer reference architecture, so should be able to fit into most IT environments pretty seamlessly. And other than that, it's a framework. So you use it to identify issues, to identify threats, to identify opportunities, to identify weaknesses, just like any other framework. The difference is that MAESTRO, unlike Stride or Pasta, is purpose-built and really designed to think about AI agents and agent issues. It expanded on all of the traditional security categories like Stride, etc. It's very much multi-agent and environmentally focused. It specifically considers interactions between agents and their environment. It's layered, right? It's about security isn't a single layer, but it's a property, and you have to build it into and build it up from everything that's come before. MAESTRO considers this. I think I said it's risk-based and focused on continuous monitoring. So this is where the industry is headed, I think. And while I volunteer to work with CSA, I am in no way, shape, or form employed by CSA at all. I have and Dayblank has lots of clients where we're using Maestro to help them think through the risks. So that's our recommendation. Why does it solve your problems, or how can it solve your problems? It's pretty practical. I said twice already, it's focused on agentic AI. It's relatively adaptable. I mean, most frameworks are adaptable. And it's community driven. So just like everybody here in this audience is contributing, it's built by a labor of love from the rest of us. Okay, so takeaways, like if you want to help your organizations secure their agents in this world, there's a lot of thoughtfulness required. Frameworks typically help people be thoughtful. So start with a good framework, diagnose the issues, understand the risks, then establish controls. This is security 101. It's crazy to me how much arm twisting it still takes to convince the business that this is necessary, but it's necessary. We need to implement and update controls. Train. Like all security problems, the technology is only one piece. You need the people and the process also, and the people are often the weakest link. Feeding information into your agents that you shouldn't, telling your agents that they have access that they shouldn't have, convincing them to do things that you shouldn't do is actually relatively easy with agents compared to before this world, but it doesn't mean it's right, and therefore we need to train our teams and our colleagues and the people around us. And then back to security 101. Once you put controls in, make sure you review them. You run your exercises. You run your red teams. It's what this conference is all about. Try to break your agents. Try to exfil the data. Try to get them to do things that they can't do, or that they're not supposed to do, or that you think they can't do, and be very hands-on and proactive. And that's my 2 cents on the issue. Thank you all.